an upper-class cat with a hot date.
Cecil, darling.
I say, one crazy inventor. A grumpy grandfather. And a serious case of mistaken identity.
So I'm now joined by AJ, the creator, the director of this rather genius film. It's kind of like a feline Freaky Friday. I love it. So how did you come up with such an idea?
Well, it started when I was having a conversation with my own cat, as you do. If you know, everyone who's owned by a cat will know that. And she was giving me the stare, and I was like, "What are you thinking?" And then it sort of came into that thing of, I wonder what cats would say if I could talk to them. And you know, the idea just came, and one day I started writing and went from idea to idea, and as it does, it grows, you know, and people input that, and it turned into what it is today.
It's fantastically polished. There's so much detail has gone into the film, and I'll ask you a few questions about that in a minute. But you had some backers that really helped you fund it so it could become what it was. So how did you go about getting the funding for the film?
Yes, we did crowdfunding on Indiegogo for that, and we did all the normal things with Indiegogo, and you know, created hype, as they call it, and you know, we couldn't have done it without them. But obviously, it's not fully funded by Indiegogo; it's private investors as well. And also personal funding. So the mixture of those three were really what got it on its feet.
And it's fantastic. You can see all the amount of detail and the special effects have gone into it. How did you go about sourcing everything from the machine that we have there, the crazy lights, the shed? It was all very, very well thought out. How did you go about putting that all together?
Well, the main thing that helped us was that we always knew what our theme was. We wanted to create a special kind of 80s vibed, rustic sort of overall theme for the film, and with that in mind, all the props you see are handmade by our prop guy. He couldn't be with us tonight, but yeah, massive undertaking by him. And the shed was another one. It was just after 3 months of looking, we shot at the shed is owned by the DOP's brother. And it fit just beautifully because it had that lovely pine interior and the blue outdoors, which fit with our blue and teal, if you like, theme. And it was just perfect. It was just perfect.
Now, what I want to talk to you about as well is casting the cat, because I was extremely impressed by this cat's acting. And I know you had a animal wrangler on board, and a very interesting guy. We spoke to him earlier. But I mean, there is some natural raw talent from set. Like, what was it about? Was it Demetrius, his real name? That was Dimitri. Yeah. What was it about Dimitri that got him the role over other cats?
Well, ironically, they say never cast a film on looks, but we only had a certain pool of cats to choose from, and I saw his picture come up, and I was like, "That's Cecil." And I then worked with the trainers to make sure that Dimitri could do everything that we wanted him to do, and then it was obviously. Yeah, and he came on set. I didn't know how it was going to go. He came on set, and he acted his furry little tail off.
Well, it's absolutely incredible, and the looks and everything he gave, such detail. Now, the thing is, he's got a very interesting, very posh, kind of Richard Attenborough-style voice going on. And you were saying earlier about trying to figure out what cats were really thinking. What was it about his voice that made you kind of go with that kind of voice? Is that because I mean, cats are quite grand creatures? Was that what it was about?
Yes, I think cats are just, they're little people in fur coats, basically, as and they were worshipped by the Egyptians as well. And Dimitri, when you look at him, he just has that, as you say, regal upper class. I can see him with a monocle. I wouldn't think anything odd, And then, I knew I wanted that tone of voice for the cat, and we found Graham, and it was just perfect.
It works so well, and what I absolutely love is the love scene as well. I mean, how did you come up with that? I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, she's a beautiful, beautiful cat, and he's this regal cat, and there's all this chemistry going on. How did you come up with that? How did that come about?
That is an incredibly long story because they're both male cats.
Oh, I see.
Yep, the cat out the bag now.
Very versatile actors then.
Yes, and basically he was the only other cat in the pool who wasn't dark orange or jet black, and we thought it's a night scene. And it's just white and everything, and we thought it would be funny if it had a French accent. So that's why she has a French accent. But I will tell you a great story. They hated each other on set.
I've heard about this, and you've ruined any kind of romantic illusion I've had now.
And have to ruin it a bit more because they were never shot in the garden. Everything you see is on green screen. And because they were fighting, they would fight. Not physically, we stopped that, but they would growl and hiss and,
Cats are awkward, aren't they?
Like they were married. So we had to put them in separately and make them look like they were enjoying a date. And you use the voiceover and sound and everything like that as well to create that illusion.
It's a very diva-ish thing that cats have going on there. You have to keep them as separate parts of the set. I mean, cats are great, but they are divas, aren't they?
I mean, cats they rule the world, don't they? They do what they want. There is a bonus features thing coming out where we've recorded extra voiceover to videos of the cats having an argument or just not wanting to do something. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it in today, but that will be coming out with the blooper reel and a lot of bloopers with all that. But I mean, yeah.
Now, the lead actress, she was fantastic at channeling the cat. I mean, it's unfortunate we can't speak to her today, so I wanted to ask you about it. So how does she go about channeling the cat in a human body and the voice? I mean, that is not an easy job, and she did it so brilliantly, and all its looks and the timing. It was fantastic. No,
it's definitely not an easy job, and the casting was a long process, and
I'm losing my cat.
That's fine. She wasn't actually the first choice, but she was second, and we couldn't make it work with the first one. So it's the fastest decision I've ever had to make. I just called her up and said, "Are you still interested?" "Yep, you've got the part." And from there, it was basically working with her to go through what I call physical, like actors do it, physical movement. And I didn't want to be too cliched for the cat, so it was, we studied how cats move. We almost zoology, we looked at how their bones were, how their legs work, obviously, because they're the wrong way around from ours. And it was just, getting that mood. We recorded all of Lara's lines with Graham's voice as the cat, and so she listened to that over and over again to try and replicate the tone, the upper class, sophistication of that, and trial and error basically, and it worked.
She did it brilliant. I loved the looks she gave as well,
Brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. She gave a few of those to me as well on set. But I mean, it was brilliant.
And it's a really fun film, and I was watching it thinking, I want a longer version. I want to see what happens. Because it's a really great cliffhanger you left it on as well, with the grandpa is now suddenly implicated in this whole thing, and you must think everything's just completely bonkers. Is there a scope for a feature length here?
Yes, it was written originally with feature length in mind. So after this, the feature is coming.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm excited.
When? But we definitely want to make it into a feature, and it's as I might call Disney.
I think it's great, and then I suppose you can have the cat actually talking as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. More VFX in that, and he would come to the premiere. I think. He wanted to come today, but he said he was just too busy.
I was expecting to see a cat show up with a bow tie or something, and that didn't happen.
Yes, he really wanted to come. He says he's sorry, but he's just got his furs in a twist. But
was he just too busy with? Well, no, they're not in love in real life anyway. So you ruined that one.
Yeah.
Sad. Now, just finally before we go, what do you hope people will take away from this film? I mean, it's obviously not a film about a moral to a story, but what kind of feeling do you want people to take away from this?
Well, I mean, I go to the cinema to enjoy myself, you know, to relax and chill out and have a good time, basically. And, you know, I wanted to make the kind of short film that I wanted to see, because I see so many of them, and a lot of them are either mental health or other moral stories or darker themed. There are comedies, but I hadn't seen one which was sort of a big 80s theme, and I just, you know, I wanted to see something colourful, vibrant, and fun, and I loved cats, and I was like, why not? Not thinking, of course, what that would entail, but yeah, I mean, I just thought, why not? I wanted to make a film that I can enjoy, and if people come out of the cinema seeing that, and, you know, they've enjoyed themselves, they're smiling, they've had a good time, then I've achieved everything I set out to do.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I've been looking forward to seeing this film for quite some time as a big cat lover, and I love comedies, and I love that whole 80s vibe of like Back to the Future and that kind of whole thing. Big fan of it, so right up my street, and so thank you so much for chatting with us today.
No problem. Watch out for the future.
I can't wait. I'll be there with these on, and I'll make sure that they actually stay on. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No problem. No problem.
You've got to be kidding me.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.